Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Vampire Diaries After Show here on theStreamtv. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, at the beginning of this week's episode, I was super frustrated because none of the words were matching up with what they were saying, you know? I felt like I was watching like an old movie, and we thought it was here. But then I was looking on Twitter, and we saw it was all over Twitter that every single one of you was experiencing the same problem. So I'm glad that they got that fixed because I found it really distracting. But then once it got fixed, let's just say, for all the epic parts of tonight's episode because it was so amazing. But let's just say tonight, we are all in sync. In fact, so much in sync that we're kind of all dressed the same. I'm your host, Megan Lamontagne, and to my left.
Hi guys, I'm Jessica Hickam, and yeah, apparently we all really liked pink tonight. I don't know, but I love tonight's episode. So happy Damon is back, and can't wait to talk about it.
And to my right.
Hi everyone, Melinda Hale here. Thanks for tuning in. We didn't plan this, I promise.
I know, it's too funny. And at the end of the couch.
Hi guys, I'm Rachel Rowland, and oh my goodness, tonight's episode had me on an emotional roller coaster. So good.
Yes, you're so right, Rachel. And I think it's only proper that we talk about one of the big main events of tonight's episode. Elena and Damon finally reunite.
Oh,
Heart flutters. Okay, Melinda's over here like, all right.
Rolling my eyes.
All right.
I can't.
I honestly thought they brought the whole like tension back maybe a little too soon because there was really.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, I loved it too. Okay, I take it back. I loved it too.
We loved it.
Let's start with the door scene right at the very beginning when Damon and Elena are just talking through the door, and there was just so much build up and emotion. How are you feeling during
Megan,
that scene?
you and I were sitting here, I think, with like the same expression on our face. We were both like,
No.
the whole time. We were just like, our hearts are beating so fast.
And I'm over here rolling my eyes.
Yeah, so I'm left
time.
over here with her. I'm having my moment. I'm just looking at her being like, oh gosh, ew. But okay, I loved the camera shot. I know that's like so technical.
No.
But the way that they set it up,
Absolutely.
I really liked
So
that.
romantic.
Yeah. No. It was a really good. And then I loved when you think Elena's gonna open the door, but then she kind of backs away, and then she unlocks it, right? And Damon opens the door, and then she's gone.
She escapes to the
and
window,
it was
yeah.
a perfect way to start the episode because it brought together. Okay, they are reunited, but where is this gonna go? And it kind of left us off on the edge of our seats. So then, yes.
But now, I was just gonna say, now that I think about it a little bit, I think you're kind of right. Like, it might have been nice if she hated him just a little bit longer.
Yes, because
Like,
it kind of seems to me a little bit unrealistic. Because
got off
before,
pretty easy.
she like hated. She was all like, Damon who? Oh, he's dead, whatever. And
And
now,
I think that's why they're setting it up. They're setting it up that she's gonna fall in love with him all over again. Like that no matter how
Right.
compelled she is, she's still madly in love with who he
Or
is.
maybe she's not. I'm just saying.
Or maybe she'll choose the new guy, right?
Which I'd rather Damon over Liam.
Can we
I
just
know.
go back really quick? Do you guys have any idea how many girls in college are gonna be like talking to guys through their door now, having that moment of like,
I know, it's totally going to happen. And so then later on in the episode, Elena ends up confessing that she wants to be uncompelled. She wants to remember the memories of Damon, but then something major happens. And thanks to Rachel, who was on top
We
of
had
it.
no idea.
all did not
I
get
loved
it.
this moment.
Right.
I was like really into it. They were like blah blah blah. And
We
I was
were
like,
like,
guys,
what's happening?
She totally
why-
figured it out.
Why is it so bad that Alaric is human? We were like all so
We
oblivious.
were actually excited for Alaric. We're like,
We're
oh my
he
gosh,
gets
he's
to
human.
live. He can have a real
And then
relationship.
Rachel comes back with, oh my gosh, he can't uncompel Elena. And we're like, they all were like,
and I was like, wow, I just had a smart moment. That was all me, guys, all me.
yes, props to Rachel. So, which leads us into going into our next discussion. Alaric is no longer a vampire. How do we feel about that?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is not being able to uncompel Elena, but then I'm just interested to see him go back to the way he was and see if he can explore this relationship with Joe without having to worry about anything.
That's what my thing is with Joe. Like, I feel like she's obviously something supernatural.
Right.
And now that he's just like human, is that going to make the relationship
I
boring?
just think it made no sense. Like, what?
How
How
she
did he
saved him.
become human?
Right.
We were all sitting here like, what's going on? Because all of a sudden she's like, trying to start his heart, and we were all like, he's a vampire. He doesn't.
Yeah, we
I
were
don't know,
legit
his heart
mad
doesn't
at her.
beat.
She was
We were
like,
like,
if I
what
move
is she
you,
doing?
you're gonna die. It's like, no, he's not gonna die. He's a vampire. Just move him across the border. But then,
does everybody who goes across the border become human? They just haven't had a doctor to save them?
I
Or-
think this is something to do with her being a witch. I think she's some form of like witch that did that. Like she changed
like her
him.
gauze was magical gauze.
why she couldn't be compelled in the first place? 'Cause
Yeah,
she's a witch.
I think
but-
it has something to do with her being a witch.
Okay, maybe.
Do you think she's a witch, Melinda?
I thought maybe a werewolf because both can't be
I can
compelled
totally
by
see
vampires.
that.
So either or.
Because the werewolf clan, I guess
We had
kind of-
decided if werewolves could or not.
they can't. I looked it up. They can't.
look
but
at
Klaus,
you.
Klaus
She's on top of
can compel them because he can compel anybody because he's a
Okay.
hybrid.
Okay,
I
okay,
guess,
right.
But werewolves and witches can't be
But
compelled.
Joe does sort of have that look. You know, she does remind me of Tyler a little bit. They could be related. I feel like in the show they sort of have the werewolves look all a similar way, just like the witches all look a similar way. They all sort of have their own looks. And Joe to me definitely looks like a werewolf, but she did something. But if she was a witch, she did it very.
Yeah, she didn't say a
She
spell
didn't
or
do a
anything.
spell. You know,
anything,
Bonnie
so-
was always like leaning from the nose. And like, "Ah." But she was all like humming the heart. She's like, all right, you're good to go. So
Okay, you're human.
Right.
It's,
Right.
says some doctorish things and then
Right.
they're done.
it's really.
But I was like legit pissed at her in that scene. Like we were all
We were
having a
all
really
yelling at her like,
just drag her across the border.
We were all like, what is she doing?
Yeah.
Why isn't she dragging him somewhere? And I still don't understand it
Yeah.
though.
They
it
have to
still
explain
hasn't
it,
been
hopefully.
explained.
Okay, so just so I can get my head on straight, they went through and from the past with Ivy, which we'll get into, we saw that once they cross over the border into Mystic Falls, something happens, and for them it was sort of just like
Bleeding from
and just
everywhere. Yeah.
falling over. I thought it was really weird how they did go through the border of Mystic Falls and they were okay for like a hot second. nothing really
Right.
happened. And then, Alaric obviously. I don't understand how he knew he was, or how everyone figured out he was human right away. Like that would have taken me a minute.
That's what I'm saying. Like the whole thing was just confusing.
Yeah, it was. It
Which
was
is
really
why
confusing.
they better give us like some kind of solid
Did they
explanation.
say something
coming
about
up.
that last season when they put the spell on Mystic Falls, like with the travelers or anything? Did we miss that?
No,
There's nothing
no.
they've
The
ever
rule
addressed.
was like no supernaturals.
Right, but did they
Yeah.
ever address crossing the
Wait.
border and being saved or anything like that?
I'm sorry, I
She
just
has
had
another
this
moment.
huge thing. I'm having a moment. No, you just said no supernaturals. So if what's her name's a witch, how is she in Mystic Falls?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, really?
Right.
Is she tonight?
Right.
Fire.
This is such. You bring up a.
I literally was
Right.
just thinking that. I'm like, you said no supernaturals.
There's no-
If we
yeah.
think she's a witch, how is she over at Mystic Falls then?
Yeah, you guys need to tweet us
Well,
using the
we are
hashtag
so
TVDAS. You need to tell us what you think Joe
Yeah,
is.
We need to know
because
what
that-
she
going
is
on.
and why he's a human
Why-
and how
what
that
she is,
happened.
why
That's
he's
a
a
very good
human.
point.
Yeah, because she can't. It
Maybe
knocks
she
out
was
that
a
she's a
vampire that
werewolf.
became a human.
She's not a witch, not a werewolf. She's something
But
else.
she
I don't
can't be
know.
compelled.
They're gonna add something else.
Holy, is she the new villain?
Well, I think
No.
the villain right now.
Jessica's like, no, we like her.
Big
We like
villain
her.
right now is Tripp. And
Yes.
we need to figure out what is Tripp's agenda.
Well, we know he wants to kill the vampires because they killed his wife.
Right.
Enzo's the one that killed his
but
wife.
Is
why
his agenda to find every single vampire ever, like in the world, and just bring them to Mystic Falls?
Oh, and okay, here's the thing. He made this like really big deal about how he was gonna like make Enzo suffer, right?
Yeah.
And then he gets Damon and he's like, all right, time for our drive. Like
Now we're just
there
gonna
was
kill you.
no,
Right,
like-
right.
That's true. And I mean, I don't like to. Well, okay, no, I was a little bit excited that Ivy died.
We all were like, okay, cool, bag her.
She just
and they
didn't add
totally
anything to the
glossed-
story.
But is she kaput? Like, was that her very last?
They really
scene in-
glossed over it.
Yeah,
It really
they
did.
did.
We were just like, oh, okay, she's gone.
She's like pulling on the chain and then she's dead.
Right.
Or do you think that maybe as they cross over the border, yes, obviously they look dead, but maybe they're not really dead, and then all the bodies are gonna kind of form. Maybe
They're
they're
gonna
be
come back.
zombies. I don't
Yeah,
know.
because
That's
if
zombies.
Alaric came back to being human, is that maybe
But
possibly
that's
what's
because
happening
Joe
to them?
saved him,
But then
though.
you'd see
like,
them wandering around. Like, wouldn't Jeremy and Matt be like, hey?
Yeah, where are the bodies? Like,
that's
where
what
are
I'm wondering. Where did
Yeah.
Tripp put the bodies after he killed
Oh.
them? So I think she's gone.
Yeah, I definitely think Tripp
Or-
is. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say that we could be onto something here, just with the fact that you never see the bodies after. Like, what does Tripp do with all the bodies?
Oh, we do remember. He burns them because remember that one
Oh.
scene when
Rachel is on it
I know
tonight.
you don't
Man.
I have issues.
I'm so
No, but
excited
remember that
about
scene
this.
with not Jeremy but Matt, and he was like cleaning out the van all like awkwardly and all the blood, so
Yes.
he burns them.
Oh.
So, okay, now,
Okay.
so Tripp was present, correct, during this whole Mystic Falls crash extravaganza?
Yeah, where was he?
Did Stefan
There was
kill
that
him?
one part though. Remember when she was like pumping him,
Yes.
and you see the people in the background, and I think that was him and his like little buddies. But I don't know why they didn't come after.
But now Tripp is
them.
going to. Well, Tripp already knows about Damon and Enzo, obviously,
now
but
he's
he
gonna know
doesn't.
Stefan's
He's
a
going to go
vampire.
after Stefan and Caroline because Caroline was on Ivy's phone,
Which I
and
still
Matt
felt
sort
like
of
that
brought
didn't
that up.
fully like.
Say
Maybe they
anything.
were just friends. Like, what if she's just a really obnoxious friend that
Or-
they hung
yeah.
out in
Literally,
college? Like, why does that make her
Caroline,
a vampire?
Caroline,
Yeah.
Caroline. It definitely
Okay.
brought on some suspicion.
red
So
flags.
we really need to figure out. Okay, we just need to get rid of Tripp, and Damon and Stefan need to get on it, and Alaric, they need to team up. Well, hopefully Alaric, now that he doesn't have powers, he'll still
Well,
be
he
part
was
of the crew.
teamed up with them before when he was
That's
a
true.
human.
That
so
is
He's
true.
only a
Yeah.
recent vampire anyway.
I know, that is true. Okay,
So I'm still iffy on this whole thing.
It's
I know.
weird. It's very bizarre. It is very bizarre.
another part of tonight's episode, it wasn't a super huge storyline, but it really made an impact with all of us, so I thought it was important to talk about it. When Damon and Jeremy had the scene together, and he said to Jeremy, you know, Bonnie, she wasn't with me in the
At peace.
afterlife. She moved on and is at peace. How did we feel about Damon lying to Jeremy?
I thought he did it to protect him.
It's true. Like, I
I
think
definitely think he did it to protect him.
we jumped to like, oh my gosh, Damon's being Damon again. But I really think he was trying to do something good from it.
Absolutely.
And I think it brings up the question of when are we going to see Bonnie again? Because we haven't seen her in a few episodes and we don't know where she is at this point. So I think it'll be interesting to see how they tie her character back into everything.
But now Jeremy's falling apart. You
Going
see,
Right, and
Crazy.
especially
Yes.
because of that.
Yeah.
And like Kai, what's
What
going
happened to
on
him?
with
Right.
Kai? So I don't know.
But you know, it's so strange because of course we do love Damon, but we also know and we can't deny the fact that Damon is not a nice guy. So he's killed Jeremy before. What did he felt? What did he feel he owed Jeremy by lying to him? That's my question. Why did Damon? I get it, but he's not a nice guy. So we know is there
Where is
more
your
to,
faith in Damon, Megan?
No, but you get what I'm
Love
saying.
has changed him.
That's what I'm saying.
He's trying to be a better person.
Is he trying to be a better person because he knows he doesn't have Elena now, and this is all kind of getting to him? Did he come back a changed man?
I think for the sake of Bonnie, he lied. I think he knew that Bonnie wouldn't want Jeremy to like hold on to the hope in a sense. Like he felt like Jeremy needed to move on. So I think he did it for Bonnie more than he did it for Jeremy.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, you would think that he would want to try to find a way to bring Bonnie back, knowing that he
I
came
don't think
back.
he's given up on it.
He's just so he's not going to tell anybody. He's
But
gonna
he-
do it on
okay,
his
so
own.
he
Probably
was
tell like
trying to-
Elena and. But he saw
If he has
how
talked- if he
he
talks
saw
to her.
how.
He was trying to protect Jeremy, but it totally counteracted.
Yeah.
Like Jeremy's now going crazy. Where we're
Right, I
like,
was just gonna
he
say-
snapped.
That was my question. Do you think it was a good idea that he basically lied to Jeremy? We would naturally think like, okay, maybe he'll be at peace knowing that Bonnie's at peace, but no, you're totally right, Rachel. It counteracted. And what do we think is in store for Jeremy this season? He was literally losing his mind at the end of that episode. He was shaking, he was
Yeah.
pale, he broke something.
Well,
like,
he's
we've
trying
been
to- yeah.
wanting a redeeming quality with Jeremy because first he's like being
That's so
drunky
true.
and slutty and all party boy and everything,
Right.
and then now this, it's like, are we gonna see a redeeming quality in Jeremy or our sweet lovey Jeremy that we love again?
I know. I don't know.
I don't think so. I think he's down the dark road this season.
Okay, how come Jeremy's down the dark road, but you will not
we
give up
have
on
faith in
Damon?
him.
I think he'll come back. I think he'll come back. But right now, like he's this season's downer.
I don't
the
hate
season's
Damon.
downer.
I just
Downer.
think it's unrealistic for the love
She's like, really,
that
guys?
people have for him
You
to be as big
forgive
as it
Damon
is.
46 times,
You
but
do.
Jeremy's down the
Right.
deep end.
Well, he'll come back. I think Jeremy's on his way. Well, not on his way back yet, but he will be eventually.
Because Jeremy's had his, in the past, he's been
had his fair
a hot
share,
mess,
yeah.
and then he's gotten back.
Season
But
1.
This is a side note.
He started
This
off
is a
bad.
side note, not even something we were going to talk about, but this is something we talked about on the couch as we were watching the episode. How hot did Matt look tonight?
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
He was
Yeah.
such a babe.
We were just like, where's this new little like manly man coming from?
It's so funny because I normally am not a Matt girl. I'm normally more of the bad boys. But tonight, man.
But I love how they just worked Matt into the story. He's literally they just place
Yeah,
him.
what is
They
he
just
doing?
write
He's the
him in.
luckiest actor in
He's the
Hollywood.
luckiest
we need a
actor.
blonde. We need a blonde.
They just love
Oh,
him
we gotta
so
put a
much.
blonde in there. We got this.
Okay, so the last part of the episode really tugged at our hearts. what do we think is in store for Delena and Stereline?
I am all about Caroline and Stefan.
They totally teased it.
I
totally
thought
they were
going
gonna
to
kiss.
I definitely did.
We all were like waiting for the kiss. Yeah,
Wait, for Stereline.
for Stefan and Caroline.
Stefan and Caroline.
And then nothing. And then it didn't happen. But it's going to.
It's going to happen.
probably
They are
will.
gonna happen.
Totally setting it up.
I was kind of disappointed in Stefan. Like, listen, you guys all know I'm Team Damon. But like there was that moment where I wanted Stefan to be like the Prince Charming, like good guy that he always is, and like grab her and be like, "No, Caroline, I do care about you." But he was just like, "Okay, bye."
And okay, he moved on from Ivy super
Yes.
quick. There was no like.
He never really cared about
Yeah,
her.
he was
Never.
just trying to have a
No.
different life. I don't think he
Okay,
was
either
that.
way, that whole Ivy thing was weird. All of a sudden, she's just like, next snap, gone.
Like they like we
it's
thought
like,
she was gone, then she
moving
came
on.
back, and now she's gone, and we were like,
Yes. Melinda, how do
Yeah.
you feel about Stefan and Caroline? I kind of forget because I know your team.
I don't.
Stefan and
well,
Elena.
I'll always be Stefan and Elena because I just feel like they're supposed to be together, and I still
Yeah.
feel like Damon. Anyway.
Yeah.
I do think that Caroline makes Stefan a better person. I think she's always there for them. I think that they have a good rapport, so I wouldn't be against it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be against it. I'm just.
Oh my
against
gosh,
it.
I'm gonna
Elena.
go nuts for that first kiss.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
it's gonna be
guys.
like as good as Damon and Elena's.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
That was a
They
good
had like
one.
a few first kisses though, didn't they?
Yeah, they
Because
did.
I just remember the one in
Because
the
then she
hotel.
compelled-
That wasn't the
Did you
first
remember?
kiss.
compelled
I thought
her
that
to
was, like, the
forget.
first
No,
real
that was
one.
just that wasn't the first.
The first real kiss was at the motel.
That's what I'm saying, like the hotel when they were like
hotel.
I
out.
thought it was
hotel.
because
No, it was on her
Catherine.
porch,
No, it was on
right?
the porch.
On the porch, and
Because
then
the only
that
reason
was
they
a
went to
good
the
one.
hotel, yeah.
That was a good
Wasn't
one.
it that Catherine?
No, this happened twice.
there was like
Okay.
One was Catherine,
sneak
and then the
attack,
other
yeah.
one was
Vampire
Elena.
Diaries, what are you doing to us? Get us all confused over here. Okay, so we talked about Stefan and Caroline. Now, man, they are just rolling with Elena and Damon. This is moving very quickly, a lot faster than I really thought it was going to move. How fast and quickly do we see them re-falling in love?
I see it being awkward on set that they're broken up.
Yes.
It's like, hey, just
Yes.
kidding. You guys have to love each other, actually.
Sorry, Nikki Reed.
That's
Sorry.
part of the job.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, apparently that's not going so well.
I know.
Really?
It's got to be so awkward. It's oh god, I couldn't.
I
even
feel like they
imagine.
Well,
thought
there's
they were
rumors
like,
on set that like all is not well
Right.
in that paradise.
ooh.
So maybe we can expect Elena and Stephanie to be together. Who
Maybe.
knows? Who knows?
They both
writers
just had
have
bad
mercy.
breakups, right?
But I find it incredibly interesting that, again, Elena had such hatred for Damon, but then even being like compelled, and she's compelled right now, even without being uncompelled, there we go, she's still starting to have these emotions and feelings for Damon. So
Do you think
It's
it's something
probably
that
like muscle
you
memory.
can't, yeah, something you can't erase, really? Like it's in her,
do you
regardless?
think that maybe
It's because they're soulmates.
Ugh.
I would
love it.
say if we didn't see previews for next episode, I would say maybe because Alaric is no longer a vampire, maybe all of his magic, or not magic, but maybe everything he did as a vampire just released or just undid itself. But that's not true though, because I think in the previews for next episode we
The
saw
fact that she's still messing with
Yeah, and I
Liam.
think you
Yeah.
have to die
I think-
for the compulsion to. The vampire has to
Yeah.
die for the compulsion to
I
go
think
away.
that she's totally gonna do her Elena thing and pull a. We should just be like normal humans and get to know each other. I think
She probably would
she's
do that.
totally gonna do it, and then you're gonna see her pursuing Liam, and then kind of Damon, and then it's just gonna be Damon.
I'm
Because
so
something needs
over
that-
this Liam guy.
Same.
I loved
were
Damon's
we
line
ever-
though in the
were
preview
we
when he was like
ever
always
not
confident.
over him.
Sexy.
I know. Oh my gosh. All right, you guys. Well, we need to take a breather because this was a great episode, but we want to hear what you guys are thinking. We want you to tweet into us, so make sure you use the hashtag TVDAS and go ahead and subscribe to theStream.tv's YouTube channel for all the other after shows, which you are about to see right now. Stay tuned.
Just in case you missed it live.
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 In case you missed it live, I'm not fake, I'm so real, okay?
Hey, who's excited?
she's a little superhero slut because she's so. I just pissed everybody off.
She's like such a glamazon.
Join the writer team because you are hot.
And I loved it.
That is like tension beyond belief. I found her to be deliciously out of control.
We were all just looking at each other, just like, ah.
So we can assume that you've written letters to inmates before.
Give me the diamonds. I need them for my wife.
Take charge and kill everyone.
This Holocaust coffin!
You were agreeing with me, so I think it was a great point.
You know, you can't count anything out.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Oh my God.
What's your shoe size? My size.
Well, that was pretty awesome.
Oh my God.
Very cool.
Totally.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Vampire Diaries After Show, and we are excited to take your fan questions. So the first question comes from @BatmanXX, _XX. Hello, ladies. Hey. How are you?
Hi, Batman.
Do you think Damon should move on from Elena?
Stefan had to, so yes.
Now, Melinda.
I don't think he can, just based on seeing how he was this episode. He's whipped. Is that bad?
I love that you just said
I was like, is that
the bad boy
inappropriate?
is
None of
The way
that-
he is, the way he was checking himself in the mirror.
Oh my God,
and stuff,
that
it was actually
was
really
so
cute.
cute
It
was
was,
that.
it was.
Or we
So
could just
cute.
tell that moment, like where they closed the whole episode with him just at the door and this look in his eyes, like,
And
look at
she
me
was
that
giving
way.
it right back.
Wait, so
We don't know if she was though.
Oh, she was
because
googly
they
eyeing
gave us
him.
the back of her to leave it like, oh, what's gonna happen?
the fact
saw
that
her
they
face.
even
We saw her
saw her
face.
face.
She was totally Googling him.
I don't think she was Googling him. I think
I
she
would
was
say
just
it was
like, okay,
Googling.
what's going to happen?
Googling, I love it. I love it. You knew right from the phone call when they were talking about meeting up. You knew that he was, like you said, he was checking his hair. She was going over, clearly eager to see him. And then that moment, we were in total silence.
You and I were like,
as they, oh my God, I can't even talk. I can't. I'm so excited for next episode. Moving on to fan question number 2. This one comes from @Dante_Tolbert. Thank you so much for writing in. Do you think in future episodes, I love this question. I read it earlier. In future episodes, we will see a big war between vampires, witches, and hunters.
no.
Ooh, that's
I'm gonna
good.
say no.
Yeah, okay. Why?
Because that's what they're doing on the originals, and they're not going to.
Right,
make
they're
the
not going to,
shows
yeah,
too
very
similar.
true.
That's
very
true.
true.
But I do
Nope,
like
they're
that
not going
question.
there.
I like
It's a
where
great
you were
question.
thinking. And clearly, it's such a great question that they are doing it. So you should maybe be a
Check out
writer
the
for the
orig-
CW
yeah,
because you are clearly on top of it. But yeah, I think if the show, the originals didn't exist, it's definitely something that probably would have been written into Vampire Diaries because there's such a dynamic between all 3 of those supernatural beings, if you will. And I really hope that they do start to bring back that dynamic because right now we're just back with just vampires, whatever Tripp is, and maybe Joe's a witch or werewolf, but Tyler's gone, so we really need to get all of those different dynamics back. I think that would be exciting.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Whoop. iPad. Oh, okay. Here we go. Fan question number
good.
3. I'm good. I totally got this iPad thing. @WeLoveYou215. What do you guys think? How will Alaric and Enzo react when they finally meet? Have they not met yet?
They
Wait.
have not met, I don't think.
And why is that dynamic so weird?
Because they're both Damon's best friends.
Oh, the bromance
Yeah.
is
So
going
there's
to
gonna be like a
get
little jealousy.
a little
I
hasty.
like
I think it'll be great.
Okay, because my thing too was I was a little worried about Alaric and Damon's friendship in that beginning of the episode when he was like yelling at him for compelling Elena. I was like, no. And then when Damon chose to save Enzo first, oh yeah, we're gonna see some dog fights. I was gonna say cat fight, but that's girl.
It's gonna be like a bromance triangle.
Right.
It really is. I definitely think that Damon and Alaric's bromance is maybe a little stronger.
It's stronger,
Watch your
more
mouth.
interesting. No, I agree. It's stronger and more interesting. I think it's 2 bad boys, and I think Alaric balances Damon out.
I completely disagree.
Why do you disagree?
Because Alaric and Damon, it was like the hunter and the vampire becoming best friends, and they would do the whole whiskey thing together.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was like 2 characters who should technically kill each other, who became best friends.
But see, the thing is with Enzo and Damon, they went through so much together. Remember when they were like in
true.
that like horrible place? together.
Yeah,
This
I
was
still
season
think
5 you're
Alaric
talking about?
balances
Yeah.
Damon out. I think
Yeah,
Alaric
I agree
is
with
a
you.
I
better
love Alaric
pairing.
and Damon. I'm playing.
And I think the
devil's
reason
advocate.
why I say what I say is because you have to admit this season, Damon and Enzo haven't had a lot of on-screen interaction together because Damon was in another realm, Enzo was tied up. So this is the first time that they're actually together, season 6, in this van, and then Alaric comes right into play again. So I'm excited to see all 3 of them with their dynamic. And yeah, maybe there will be
Maybe
a little
they'll play
tug of war.
nice.
Maybe they'll play nice.
Maybe they'll play nice.
Maybe
wishful
they'll
thinking.
I love it though. I love how we can have disagreements.
I think Alaric brings out the best in Damon. I don't think Enzo does. That's what I think.
I like that.
I do like that too. Oh, well, we shall see. Good question, though. I like it. I want to give a shout out or a few shout outs right now to all of our live YouTube watchers. Thank you so much. So we have Raven Wiggins, Jayla Vincent, Gina Angela Ella, Kimberly Yolo, and Jenna Powell. Thank you so much for tuning in. And speaking of Jenna Powell, you wrote us a live question, and your question is, how do you think Elena will get her memories back, and do you think she will fall in love again with Damon?
Duh.
I mean, this has been such a hot topic all night, and it's just, I just cannot wait to see what unfolds, because at the end of tonight's episode, I thought, oh my gosh, they're gonna like kiss and make out. But then in previews for next episode, it
She's
seems
a
to
land.
be,
Yeah.
it seems to be back this way again. So I'm not. You guys get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
I'm like
Like they kind of set us up of like, oh my gosh, they're gonna get back together, and then we see this preview of like Liam being like, she's mine.
And then her being like, I don't know, I wish, she said something about being uncompelled. She's like, I think she said, I wish I can just be uncompelled or something. I can't exactly remember what I saw, but.
She just has to make a trip over to the originals.
Yes, which she does, right? That happens.
Well, that happened last week.
That happened last
But
week.
she was in a flashback.
Right,
so
it wasn't really
wasn't
right,
Elena.
it wasn't really
Elena.
her. It wasn't really
I
her.
have to catch up on my originals. You guys have me
Oh
so
my gosh,
excited.
it was so good.
All right.
Don't tell me.
Yes, we definitely want to hear all of your questions, comments. Don't forget to tweet us. We are always on Twitter all night and all day. I'm just like throwing around this card right here.
There you go. That's what you do with it.
There it goes.
We're so smooth.
Guys, I'm already like, okay, let's just wrap up this show because I'm like getting messy over here. No, but we definitely want to hear. There was so much going on in tonight's episode. This is just continuing to be such a great season. Like I said, little slow to start, but these last 2 weeks have been epic and have been amazing. So tweet us at the hashtag TVDAS. We want to hear all about your questions and your comments. And again, subscribe to theStream.tv. You guys have any other comments about next week? Anything that you saw in the previews that kind of excited you?
Well, not exciting is Liam.
Yeah.
So let's move on, people.
He's got to go.
You gotta go, bro.
You gotta go.
Gotta go, bro.
Gotta go, bro.
And with that quote of the night, we gotta go, bros, okay? Or gals, or whoever is watching out there. We love you all so much, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.